What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I, of course, am John, the creative blue-collar guy, and we've got a good story today from our boys in Metallica that I think falls perfectly in line a lot with kind of who I am as an individual, as a musician, as a machinist working in the metal trades. But also, if any of you out there watching this follow me specifically on Instagram, a little bit on Twitter, and you probably know some of my feelings about some recent events that have had to do with student loan forgiveness, but we won't get into that too much here today, because this is a good story that I definitely want to highlight and talk about. In Oregon City, Metallica helps students pursue, quote, heavy metal trades. Okay, I see what they did there. The Metallica Scholars Program has assisted more than 200 community college students prepare for careers in industrial trades. So I just want to stop right there and say, regardless of your feelings of what's going on in the news lately, regardless of your feelings of what's going on in the world of student loans and higher education, there is a definite decline in interests in the trades, specifically machining, welding, construction, plumbing, electrician, tile. It's work where you have to use power tools. You're going to get messy. You're going to be really tired at the end of the day, but you put in a good days of hard work that you can be proud of at the end of every day. And not to talk down on other professions. I mean, the world needs doctors, the world needs teachers, the world needs all sorts of different things. Some things that you do have to go to school for. But now, a lot of people want to get into web development and programming and graphic design. Also good things that are needed. But after a while, if everybody is learning just those things because they want to sit at a computer in an air-conditioned office, then supply and demand says that you're going to have a really hard time finding a job when everybody knows how to do your job. Meanwhile, the company down the road is trying to hire a plumber's apprentice and no one wants to apply for it. So, again, I'm not saying that one is better than the other. I'm just saying that there is a definite shift in that fewer people want to do hard, messy work. At the end of the day, the world is always going to need mechanics and ditch diggers. I know how to run and operate CNC machines and manual machinery and all that. But over time, they can get to where robots can replace just being a button pusher. So if you don't know how to take those things apart, put them back together, repair them, program them, then that's another one that will kind of die over time. So here this article goes on to talk a little bit more about this scholarship program, and I'll link the description. I'll link this video in the description of this video. I'll link this article down in the description of this video so that you can go and read the whole thing in depth for yourself. Because again, I think this is just a really cool story that here, one of the biggest bands in the world is still doing things to try to, not only they have their organization that we'll get to here, it's called All Within My Hands Foundation. They do a lot of different charitable things, but this one specifically I just thought was kind of a very interesting, clever, and just a cool thing that they're trying to help younger people get into the, quote, heavy metal trades, which, you gotta love that. All right, so here we go. It says, their Metallica Scholars Initiative, part of the band's nonprofit All Within My Hands Foundation, helps community college students across the United States get into trades like welding, machining, industrial maintenance, gotta know how to fix stuff, and automotive technology, which again, you're always gonna need a mechanic. Those careers share a common element, according to Tom Brown, one of the applicants from a community college who was part of the initiative in 2019. He goes on to say, the theme of our application was heavy metals, Brown said. He's not exactly sure what set this application apart, but the school that he was going to became one of the first 10 community colleges to take part in the program. He's now the school's Tech Hire Project Outreach Coordinator. So again, I think it's interesting they're talking about how it's, community college students. It's people who have chosen to go to a community college and pay their own way. And, maybe they're not going to the big fancy university, but they're trying, they're going and getting their higher education. And so now this organization is going to go and seek out these people and try to help them out. But again, it sounds like, there's an application process. Like they're not just sitting around just doling out free whatever. So I'm sure there's kind of a process here for that. He goes on to say that was a real whirlwind that first year. When the announcement came out, I don't think that college had ever gotten press like that before. Suddenly it was everywhere. So here we got a picture from the All Within My Hands Foundation social media. Down here in the caption, it says, "It's graduation season and we're so proud of our Metallica scholars, like these ones in the heavy metals program at the," I keep skipping over this name because I'm going to probably butcher it, but I'm going to try it. The Clackamas Community College. I'm guessing it's probably the name of the city. I don't know. I've been trying to skip over it because I don't know how to pronounce it. I apologize. They're making us look good by getting rock solid careers in welding, automotive, and industrial technology. Hashtag Metallica gives back, and some other stuff. Being selected meant that Metallica would be providing the tools of these trades, literally, from wrenches and calipers to spray guns, high-tech welding hoods. The band was making sure students in the program had equipment to start trade careers. Renee Richardson, director of philanthropy at All Within My Hands Foundation, said the band had already been working for years to fight food insecurity. They were wondering how else they could help people when frontman James Hetfield had an idea. His kids were about to go into college, and he was kind of wondering, like, hey, what happened to trade education? How come kids weren't talked to about becoming a plumber, becoming a welder? And so the Metallica Scholars Program was born. I can say, at least when I was in high school, there was an automotive class where you could go and basically learn how to wrench on cars. And there was, I believe, a welding class and there was a metal shop where I think you learned machining and you learned welding. Unfortunately, back when I was a teenager, I had no interest in these things. So these programs were not really pushed all that much. I was, again, a musician, a creative guy. At the time, I wasn't really interested in that. Didn't really know what I was going to do with my life. But looking back, I really wish that maybe some of the guidance counselors had pushed that. If maybe I'm sitting in their office and they're saying, what do you want to do with your life? And I go, I don't know. And they could start just spitballing stuff. I don't know. And maybe if they'd thrown out metal shop, maybe I would have thought about it. But I'm very fortunate to have later in life fallen into the trade that I am in. But how much more experience I'd have under my belt if I'd started at a younger age. But that school now, I have no idea if any of those programs are even still active at a high school level. John Phelps is a welding instructor at CCC who is already a diehard, lifelong Metallica fan. When he heard the news about the program, quote, "I just couldn't believe that this band that I grew up listening to was investing in the place that I work with, the students that I trained to help strengthen our community." One of those school's first Metallica scholars, Jessica Jones, said she first noticed the program after seeing students with matching t-shirts. "There was a pretty good group of students that I would see with these Metallica t-shirts on," she said, "and I was like, how do I get one of those shirts?" See, sometimes it's all about marketing. If people just see a free shirt, or even if they got to pay like $20 for it, they're going to be like, hey, I want one of those. Ugh. A self-described rocker chick, Jones had been a huge Metallica fan since high school in the 90s. She'd been through a rough patch in her life and had just decided to go back to school in 2019, saying, quote, "So then I started kind of hearing rumors like, oh, there's this grant available, they're buying tools for students," and I was like, right on, Jones said. I didn't even know that it was something that would be available to me. I was trying to navigate myself as a nervous 40-something starting school over again. She applied and got into the program. Jones got her badass welding hood, jacket, gloves, grinder, and other tools she doesn't think she would have otherwise been able to access. And so then here, there's a picture of her with her custom welding hood there. Our Metallica scholars are making us proud with their commitment to the work they set out to do. No, it's not the same caption. It was almost kind of reading like it was a copy and pasted caption. And they also send us thank you notes. I've been a Metallica fan all my life. To receive such a gift from you means so much to me. If back in 1994 you were to tell me that Metallica would pay for so much of my tools and equipment to start my career, I probably would have thought I was dreaming. It really boosted my confidence, she said. I took that certification test and I passed it my first term of welding school here, and I was very proud of that. So, again, it's just kind of going on that this isn't a government-funded program. This isn't coming out of tax dollars. This is coming out of donations. This is coming out of a band wanting to use their fame and their platform and their money to give back and do something good to people who are just kind of pushing along, trying to go to community college, trying to find their way and saying, hey, do you want to learn how to weld? Or even if they already are, providing them with the tools and the things of that nature as well. Because if you don't know, and maybe one of the reasons why also people don't like getting into the trades is a lot of times you have to buy all your own tools, and to get the good ones that you're going to be able to use all day, every day is not always cheap. There's some stuff you can skimp on and maybe go a little budget on, but if it's something you're going to be using all day, every day, you got to get the good stuff. And so yeah, that's all I have for this. I just thought this was a really cool story, and again, without going into too much political commentary, because I think you can already kind of see how I feel about some of this stuff. First of all, I appreciate the fact that they're pushing for people to get into the trades. I appreciate that this money is coming from, I guess, essentially sort of a private source and from donations. So it's actually people being generous, not telling other people that they need to go spend money on something. And so yeah, Metallica literally investing in heavy metals. Thank you guys so much for watching this far through. Sound off in the comments. Let me know what you think about all of this. And also, please make sure to like this video, share it out there for others to see. Hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications so you do not miss future videos when they come up, as well as future live streams. I am John, the Creative Blue Collar Guy, signing off, and I'll see you next time.